vitamin C, and it's been studied. When they're starting to come down with something, they produce enormous amounts. Animals produce enormous amounts of vitamin C. Increased blood pressure, of course. Increased cholesterol. Increased norepinephrine secretion. That's an upper. Heart rhythm disturbances. Interrupted growth in children and adolescents. So this is a big problem for kids who take Ritalin. What happens to them? I think the process is terrible. You know, the teacher can't handle the students, so they put a request in that the student goes on Ritalin, and then the Ritalin, which is an upper, stunts growth. So hopefully the kids take enough vacations off the drug so they can regrow again, but I'm not sure they ever will get to their regular height from it. So when you smoke, or you have friends or family or colleagues who smoke in your presence, you're getting exposed to environmental toxins. Smoking also harms the cilia. Anyone know what the cilia are? They coat the entire respiratory tree. When you've got junk in there, the cilia move to get it out so you can cough it up. When you smoke, it breaks off the cilia. You don't have a process for cleaning your own bronchioles, all those little tubules that go into the lungs. And that's another detoxification system. So, alcohol can never be called healthful? Well, some people do. A lot of doctors who want their patients to love them will say, it's good to drink a couple glasses of red wine a night. Moderate amounts of alcohol, 1 to 2 glasses of wine or beer daily, may not be overly harmful, but it's certainly not going to be great. There's better things you can do to get the antioxidants. So it still places a toxic load on your liver. This is the main deal we're going to talk about tonight when we get into this. Never take alcohol, and then when you get a headache, take Tylenol, because it's both a huge toxic load on the liver at the same time. Never go out, get drunk, and take Tylenol for the headache. Make a bond with yourself. If you want to get loaded, stay away from medications to get rid of the side effects. So I mentioned red wine can be helpful because of the resveratrol from the red grapes. But the alcohol has to be detoxified by the liver. Unless wine is organic, it also contains toxic pesticide residues. So people who want the benefits, like I mentioned, you can drink dark red grape juice. But with that, you're going to get a high sugar load too. So I recommend not doing that either. But the resveratrol is what I'm talking about here. Resveratrol is being touted now as the greatest antioxidant there is for anti-aging. What do processed foods mean? We hear the term all the time. It's all the stuff in the middle of the store. It's all the packaged food. So there's preservatives in it, chemicals that are used to ensure fresh color or appearance can be toxic. Anyone ever buy green bananas and they stay green and they don't ripen?
They spray them with ethyl chloride.
That's correct. They are sprayed in another country, so when they are shipped over here, they stay nice and unripe so they have time to ripen. What does that do? We're eating all that junk. Plus, I buy food regularly that does not ripen. It really bothers me. I haven't returned it yet, but I think I'm going to start doing it. Mangoes, papayas, everyone ever buy those and they just never ripen up? You stick them in the sun, it's like after a while they just get moldy, right? They never ripen though. That's because of the chemicals. So we'd like to get rid of as much consumption of processed foods, especially desserts, snack foods, and fast foods. Now it's not that terrible if you go to a decent fast food place and have a hamburger, as long as you take the bread off and don't eat the French fries that are fried in the rancid oil. At least you're getting some meat. As we're going to see, we need a lot of protein in our system to aid the detoxification process. I know that goes backwards. Red meat is bad, all that, but it aids in the liver's detoxification process because of the amino acids, and we'll talk about that. Food allergies, what's that all about? Many people who eat certain foods over and over, usually the foods that you love the most are the ones that you have antibodies to and are allergic to. When we remove them, people often feel much, much better immediately. IgG food allergies affect millions. These are the late reaction. And unfortunately, you can't really know when you have an IgG food allergy because you don't get the quick reaction as you do with the IgE. IgE is an immune response that's immediate. It's like if a bee stings you and it swells up, that's an IgE response. Most food allergies are delayed, so we don't know what they are. When we think there's a hint that a person has food allergies, we take them off of most foods, keep them on simple foods, and then when their system settles down, they feel better, and we detoxify them. We'll then add back one food at a time so they can track which food is causing them a problem. How many of us have had x-rays of our neck and then we see all this stuff in there? So this is the mercury amalgams, silver fillings, made out of mercury, tin, copper, and zinc. Now these have actually been declared hazardous waste by the Environmental Protection Agency. So why are they putting them in our teeth? Doesn't make sense to me. They leach out. If you ever decide to have these amalgams taken out of your teeth, make sure you have it done by a dentist who practices this type of medicine. They need to put something in that siphons off, an exhaust fan in a sense, that siphons off the toxic fumes from drilling on it, because that can go right up in your brain and make you really, really sick. American Dental Association still approves them. World Health Organization indicates that a single filling can release from 3 to 17 micrograms of mercury a day. Mercury toxicity has been associated with anorexia, depression, fatigue, insomnia, arthritis, multiple sclerosis, irritability, who doesn't have that? Memory loss and gum disease, among many other disorders. So when we're doing detoxification for people, you can see there are so many different things to look at. It's not like one thing fits everybody. And what we do is we keep digging till we find the right thing for that person. And sometimes it's a long haul getting there. I talked about damaged fats. Any oils that have been processed and are stored in clear plastic containers exposed to light in the grocery stores are rancid when you buy them. Think of these oils, margarine and hydrogenated fats, as the white bread of fats. I don't think there's anyone here that eats white bread, is there? No. Well, be careful of these white bread fats. Same deal. Just as bad. Is detox right for you? So it can be beneficial for those with one or more of the following conditions. Chronic constipation. Anyone here willing to admit that they have it? Nope. Oh, one guy's scratching his ear. Frequent gas and bloating. No one has that, I know. You don't have to raise your hands. Excess weight? No, we don't have that. Frequent fatigue? God, we all have these things. Impaired digestion, irritable bowel syndrome. What is that? It's a conglomeration of different things. I'm actually going to talk about that on Thursday at the YMCA. What is irritable bowel syndrome? It's a lot of constipation and a lot of diarrhea and a lot of stuff in between where we have a lot of bloating and we just don't feel good in our gut. Very easy to take care of. Just good nutrition can take care of that in a day. I mentioned candida infection. Parasite infestation, recurring headaches, bad breath, hemorrhoids, irritability, frequent colds, protruding bellies. Anyone have that? Only 2 people here haven't. Oh, well, a third one. A fourth. Fifth. Now, I don't mean to be too graphic, but this is funny. One of the things I work quite a bit with people when I do hormone work is when a guy comes in and I want to know how their testosterone level is, I'm often going to ask, how does your penis work? And they all go, great. This could be guys 90 years old too. It's all great. And then I talk to them a while, and then after a few minutes it's like, well, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's fine. I'm fine in that department. And then after a while they're like, this is terrible. I don't like it like this. Can you fix it for me? And it's the same thing with protruding abdomen.